Hello, judges and audience. Thank you for giving us a minute of your time. Today we'd like to present to you our findings and ideas on helping prevent wildfires in the Harrison area. On my right is Junyan Park. This is Cindy Rathmatica. On my left, Jonathan Chi, and on the far side, Abhinav Maheswaran. And together, we are Team Entropy.
Perfect. Let's get right into it. So, we're here to talk about wildfires, obviously, and then after that quick little lesson, we're going to get into story time, and then from there, we're actually going to get into our treatments, right? And during all of this, we're going to cover an indigenous perspective.
Okay, hello everyone. I hope you guys are all excited. Today, this course is going to be called Wild Forest Fires 101, and I'm Professor John. I'll be leading it. So, where we got this inspiration was from our little campaign to James Kennedy Elementary School. At James Kennedy, we taught these kids what wildfires were and how even they could contribute and even prevent it somehow on how, because everyone has a job, right? Now, what is a forest fire? Hopefully everyone here knows what a forest fire is, but for those who do not know, it's simply a fire in the forest. Quite intuitive, right? Now, here's a fire triangle. So this is what starts a fire. So we have three aspects. We have fuel. This is stuff that's technically dry, and we like to call this underbrush, and this can be dry materials such as leaves or branches, and also oxygen and heat. On the talk of heat, we have natural causes. 60% of wildfires in British Columbia are caused by lightning, while the other 40% is human causes. This ranges from shooting tannerite targets, sparks from ATVs, and also arson. And we learned about this from Mr. Warnock, a fire technician. But the largest human cause of all is cigarettes. Now, wildfires can be devastating. And here's some images to help you really visualize it. This is a house in Jasper in August 2022. And also, this is the same house in July 2024. And also, here are some other pictures just to help you guys visualize it. But it's not just the ecosystem that's also affected, but also the people. So, what we've found is that the smoke from wildfires can go from thousands of kilometers away, and they can cause school closures and also health degradation. Some of these health consequences can lead to cancer and other diseases just from the toxic fumes. But at the same time, it's not just the health that's burning, it's also money. In our research, we found that in June 2023, a wildfire lasting around a week long costed Ontario roughly $1.2 billion. Imagine that amount of money. I know I'll never see it, but yeah.
We've also learned about cultural burning. This is a long-standing indigenous practice, and it's essentially where you intentionally light underbrush on fire. And this is done because not all fires are bad. If they're controlled, then it can prevent fires in the future and actually revitalize the ecosystem.
All right. Perfect. So, we learned a little bit about wildfires and all that learning. Wow. I think we need a little break, right? So, let's get into story time. So, our story is called The Beauty of Harrison. And once upon a time, in a land far, far away, like 2 hours from here, there's a beautiful place called Harrison Hot Springs. And we had the privilege of visiting Harrison, and I think I see a familiar face. Hi, Mayor Talon. Nice to see you again. Back to the story. So, beautiful place, luscious mountains, fun forests, but then, smoke.
Oh no!
There's a fire! Oh no! But luckily, Harrison has some wildfire mitigation methods already in place. Remember this image I showed you a couple of minutes ago? Well, it's actually AI generated. But not all AI is bad. SenseNet is an AI-based solution that detects fire really early on before it gets too big to control.
Another way Harrison is helping protect and against forest fires is with FireSmart BC. FireSmart BC offers a program called FireSmart, which helps protect and prevent wildfires in the Harrison residence. One of the ways is with home evaluations that inspect homes and help determine whether it would be safer in a fire or if it would contribute to it. Another way they're doing that is with education. Harrison also hopes to implement an evacuation plan, helping residents get out safely and quickly in the event of
He actually has used cultural burning since time immemorial, and we hope that a collaboration between both communities will enrich the ecosystem. All right, so we're pretty settled that Harrison is good in terms of wildfire mitigation, right? So why is there an influx of fire in the region? Well, the problem is tourists. You, okay, not you exactly. but people who go into the region and are unaware of the risks that their activities pose to the area. So we learned about wildfires, we learned about who the problem is and why we need to protect Harrison. Let's get into our treatments.
Right. Education is a big part of our solution. But before we get into this is our experience in Harrison Hot Springs. Right, we found some wonderful initiatives, like indication of fire hazard risk. But what we found in the forest was quite the opposite. We found the burnt logs in the forest and cigarette butts in the very tree stump. And our education targets this exact need, the lack of awareness. Through social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook, and going to schools like JKE, we educate the future generations and the potential tourists of the local fire events and how to behave fire smart around these. I bet you didn't notice this was in my pocket. This little innovation we like to call the cigarette box. The idea is cigarette companies would manufacture cigarettes in this box, and on the bottom there would be a clay base. When you're done with the cigarette, you simply put it in, put out the fire, and dispose of it safely. So as you know, cigarettes can be very dangerous for forests.
Our calls to action, it's sort of a manifesto, which you can refer to over there. And it encompasses all of the previous solutions that we talked about, along with some new ones, such as funding, where we would like to provide more funding for fire prevention services, such as the BC Conservation Officers, FireSmart, SenseNet, and another part about Indigenous stewardship, where we would like to return Indigenous people the power stewardship of the land by, say, allowing them to ticket people if they're behaving illegally, or allowing them to conduct cultural burns, which can also help them, which can lead to better protected forests.
Calls to action sounds like Disneyland. It's fantastic, but it sounds fantasy too. So, is it feasible? Yes. How? We're making this into legislation. By making our plan into a law, we're ensuring powerful enforceability, secure funding, and consistent action across the province. This is how we move from great ideas to protecting the communities. And sorry about that. Oh, yeah. Whoa, sorry. It's too ambitious, you say, but it's not. Because we believe ambition can be achieved through action. From our inquiry with MLA, specifically Ms. McDougall, the constituency advisor, we have learned our next steps. Choosing specific amounts for funding and forming a fire safety advocacy group, like how we're doing on social media and going to schools. And judges, more steps are provided in the brochure. It's a timely step indeed. But the message is quite simple. We will make our actions, and we call to your actions too.
Okay, time flies. So, that was our presentation. We sincerely hoped we were able to share our passion for this topic, and we thank the IdeaX administrators for providing us with this opportunity.
Thank you.